We found out today that we can no longer bury our dead in this country with dignity.
A resounding ruling today in a case that has touched a national nerve. Protesters who unleash vile messages of hate at military funerals are protected by the First Amendment, and even the most hurtful speech must be allowed. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Wendy Ryan.
And I'm Jamison Euler. It is a decision that many will not agree with. The U.S. Supreme Court ruling today that a fundamentalist Kansas church has the right to use offensive and crude speech at the funerals of U.S. troops. The Westboro Baptist Church contends the deaths are God's punishment for tolerating homosexuality. Chris Martinez is live tonight in Tampa with more on this decision. Chris?
Well, Jameson, members of that church have unleashed their protests on military funerals and processions right here on Bay Shore before. And after this ruling today, they say we're going to see a lot more of their message.
Their protests and signs offend and outrage many. But with an 8-1 ruling by the Supreme Court, these outrageous protests by the Westboro Baptist Church outside military funerals are now protected by free speech.
This case put a megaphone to the mouth of this little church. Shutting us up wasn't going to change that.
The Kansas-based church claims America's acceptance of homosexuality is responsible for the deaths of U.S. soldiers. And more than once, they brought that message to the Bay Area.
God is your enemy.
Like many of the church's gatherings, this one outside Plant High School last year prompted a counter-protest. But it was the family of a soldier killed in Iraq who took it a step further, suing the church for emotional distress. They won, but the appeal went to the Supreme Court.
We found out today that we can no longer bury our dead in this country with dignity.
Most recently, the church threatened to protest a memorial service in Tampa for Bo and Kayla Schenecker just days after police say their mother shot them to death. They never showed up, but after today's ruling, the church is now vowing to quadruple their protests, even gloating about their victory.
Shut up all that talk about infliction of emotional distress when you're standing there with your young child's body bits and pieces in a coffin. You've been dealt some emotional distress by the Lord your God.
And of course, the Supreme Court's decision is drawing a lot of criticism from a lot of different sources tonight, including some veterans groups, military veterans, who say, yeah, we fought for the right for free speech, but some of them are saying they thought this case was much more about protecting grieving families. We're live tonight in Tampa. I'm Chris Martinez, ABC Action News.